Michigan, where dreams take flight. We're planting seeds of hope under starlit night. With hands in the soil, we're chasing the sun, building a legacy, a life just begun. Every brick's a story, every tree's a friend. Michigan road, the 45th parallel, with dreams in our hearts and stories to tell. Through sweat and through laughter, we're building it right. A home for the ages, we'll shine through the night. Through seasons of laughter, through trials we stand, forging a future, it's all in our hands. From empty fields to a home full of grace, we're carving our path in this beautiful place. In the whispers of nature, our love will grow. Michigan above, the 45th parallel, with dreams in our hearts and stories to tell. Through sweat and through laughter, we're building it right. A home for the ages, we'll shine through the night. Together we'll flourish, watch our journey unfold. In the heart of the land, our dreams will be told.
Hey guys. So Jason was noticing something. We were down here in the clearing, and then I started noticing a little something. We have a predator on our property. We've got blood smears and drips on our new concrete pad. It goes all the way over to here. Drip, 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 and then poof, all these feathers. So Jason noticed these huge paw prints in the sand, and it's quite a large step in between. Not exactly sure what animal put those tracks in here, but I do know that they had a good meal. We do have neighbors that have chickens. I don't know if they have pheasants or whatever. I'm not sure what kind of bird that is, but somebody lost a birdie, and we have a predator on our property. Well guys, it's getting to that time. Today we are blowing out the water, and we're getting the water shut down. It's always kind of sad at this point in time of the year because, darn it, I don't want it to be over. I want to stay, but it gets too cold up here, and it's been pretty cold. We've had the heat on. We ended up running out of propane, and good thing that we went and filled it up the other day, the last weekend. Some weekend. I don't know. The other day we filled it up, and we ended up having to use our electric heater we have in there for a little bit of yesterday. It was cold. Got down to 32. But nothing's frozen. We're going to get this water taken care of today. Let's get going. It rained last night. Just glad it wasn't snow. Woo! Good burr morning fall to everybody. I don't know.
It's cold.
It's cold.
As you can tell, we're bundled up today.
Yes.
It's about time been talking about doing the water, keep putting it off because it was nice for a couple weekends, but it's finally getting cold.
Yeah.
We got to get the water shut down today, so. Unfortunately, it's that time of the year.
Yeah.
I hate doing this. I try and put it off as long as possible because as soon as the water shuts down, then we don't really stay in the camper. So,
Yeah.
tank.
And how to shut down the water in your camper and how to winterize the lines.
So, I got my black and gray tanks draining right now. Those are
Yep.
getting emptied out. I'm going to disconnect the water, put the spray nozzle on it so I can go and spray out some tanks on the inside, like the waste tank. Get some water in there, bleach it out, drain that out, and then we'll get the compressor aired up, and we will go into the side of the camper. It'll blow all the water out.
How did that go?
And then after all the water's blown out, then we can pour some antifreeze in there, and then it should be good for the winter. So
Yeah.
got a
And
few
it'll be
things to do.
safe.
Yep.
So we don't want any lines cracking up because
Yep.
we like jokes, but like our cement and our pipes, we don't want them cracking up.
No. So
No.
that'll be the
All
RV. Tag along, see what we get done.
Here we go.
Hopefully we do it right this year. And you don't know. That's the
did it.
thing about all this. You do this year, and then you have to wait all winter.
To
Fingers
see.
crossed that everything's winterized properly and you're not busting pipes. You don't know until the spring. So
Yeah. We did it the
Yeah.
last couple of years.
We've
We've
been
done
successful.
a fine job, so
Yep.
it shouldn't be any kind
it's
of
just
issue.
remembering it a year ago because it's been a
Yeah.
year since I've done it. So I think I got it.
It'll be okay.
Yeah. So see if we do it right today, guys.
All right. Here we go.
This darn critter. You can tell he's been in here again. We got a pile of stuff over there where the water's dripping. And then we got some over here. He's been in here snacking,
Yeah.
making a nest. At least he ain't nesting in here though. I think he lives under here in the hole.
Yeah, there's a little.
Must be his dining hall. Stashes all his food in here and then he goes in here and eats nice and safe. No one's gonna bother him.
Yeah.
Have this shut off. Now I can go disconnect my hose so I'm not spraying.
So first you have to let all of your water drain out of, I've got all of the faucets are open and they're all draining right now. So we're going to let those drain and then we're going to start the process of taking down the water heater.
Alright. Oh, we gotta come back to the hot water heater and pop our anode rod.
Anal rod.
It's not an anal rod. It's an anode.
Oh, is that? I
Yeah.
thought it was. Never mind.
That's something different. It's a different video. So this also is your drain plug, and it's a big long threaded rod, and it picks up all the elements and minerals in the water, and it collects on that. You have them in your hot water tanks too, like at home, like the big tall ones. So we gotta pop that out, drain out the hot water, and then get underneath the bed and flip that switch so that I can close off the hot water tank. There's a valve under there, and then it allows all the water systems. So when I blow out the air, it'll blow out all the water systems, and then this is separated and drained out, and then this doesn't have any water in it. So it's like a little separation valve. All your RVs are going to have it if you have a hot water tank on it. So that's just part of the process of winterizing it. So I got to get a wrench to get this off, and then we got to climb under and do that valve. See, I have that socket size, but it's all the way down in the shed. I don't feel like going down there. So you always have a high pressure release valve at the top. It always usually looks like this, and you can flip this. And if there's any pressure built up in it, it'll release the pressure and blow out the hot water that's in there. So you always want to do that before you're popping your drain plug, because this is under pressure. And be careful when you pop that, because it could be really hot water coming out of your hot water tank, and it's under a lot of pressure. So got to be careful when you pop that, but you always want to relieve your pressure first. Get my screw.
Just
What? every year I forget I gotta take off the stupid little covers so that I can get to the... If you have a socket, you can just pop it right off. I don't know what size it is. It sucks having your tools like way down there because they're not convenient to use. Plus, if you get these out of the way when your wrench slips, you're not cutting your hand on the metal there.
Remember to hop back because it starts spewing. Warm water. Hands are cold. What's this?
Hopefully. Oh, that's water pressure. Okay. Alright, so I hooked the water hose to this. And then it's a little spray nozzle.
Oh.
And I can spray in there because inside your hot water tank it's going to collect sediment and stuff. So in the past, like when we didn't have water pressure, I had one of those little pump spray bottles. The long neck, I'd spray it in there, but it's not very much pressure. So I'm hoping with constant water hooking up to the hose, I should be able to get this in the tank, spray around in there, and get all that sediment and loose, you know, minerals built up in there to break free and come out. Because if you come over here and notice, right here, like some of the water that came out, you get like these minerals built up, like all this stuff here. You can see it kind of like in here. It's this little white stuff. It's all minerals. And if you look in there, you can kind of see some of the corrosion. So every hot water tank builds up, and that's what this rod's supposed to be for. This here actually doesn't look that bad, but like this white crusty stuff starts building up. And then this is supposed to collect it all, so, and keep it out, less of it in your water. So anyways, thought this new tool, again, couple bucks on Amazon. Hoping I can go in here with some water pressure, spray this out, and then get all that gunk sprayed out of there. So let's test it out. Not bad. See all the white stuff coming out. The minerals. Look at all that grossness. Alright, so you got to make sure you get good plunging. I was gonna say, you gotta make sure you clean it out pretty good. Get it in there nice and deep, get the wand in there. I have to plunge it a few times. Just joking. It's doing a good job though. It's getting a lot of stuff out of there.
Yeah.
You don't want all the sediment sitting in your tank. Good idea to get it cleaned out every once in a while. Got a majority of it out there. There's quite a bit in there. It's a good little tool. You can reach in there nice and deep, get it all sprayed out in there, clean it out. I don't think you're gonna get it all out of there, you're just trying to get most of it. So, I think we're good. Spray this off, got a bunch of corrosion under there. I don't want to sit on the metal and corrode in it. Get that off, good there. A little spray down. There we go. Alright, now we're good. Go on, buddy. You'll see the chunks that came out the first time. Alright, we're good. I'm gonna go shut that off. The flooding. Alright, so some critters been in here, I'll say that. So back here is our little shutoff valve. So our hot water heater's on the back side. It's kind of like right here behind this. So they made a little. Usually this is screwed down. I unscrewed it, so it's easy access. But it's really hard to see. But in here, here's the valve. I need a light.
You got your phone?
I'm trying to dig it out.
Am I pointing at the right thing? Look at the camera. You're pointing right.
Yep. So, right here. Oh, look at that. Got a little rat's nest back there.
Is there?
Yep. Alright, so now this water system, the cold water comes in to the tank, goes into the tank, gets heated up, and then goes out to your water lines to go out your faucets. There's a valve before it goes in, so it cuts off the water instead of going into the tank. Now that cold water doesn't go in the tank, it just goes through your water lines. So by shutting that valve off, I've isolated this, and now I can pour antifreeze in my other lines, like go blow the lines out. It'll blow all the air out, because you're not trying to blow air in this big giant tank and cavity, and it's closed off. It'll blow all the water out of the water lines, and then we can pour antifreeze in there, and then you're good to go. And then this one, I'll probably, once I blow it out, I'll probably open the valve back up, pour some antifreeze in there so some goes in here, and then we'll close the valve again. Because once I'm just trying to pressurize the system and closing off this tank, so when I put air into it, it blows all the water out of the lines because it's like a smaller enclosed system. So Kind of confusing, but not, I don't know. I understand it because I've done it in a few years. It makes sense to me. So now we're ready to go blow some out. Alright, so this is where our water line goes in for our well. Our garden hose goes in here to feed the RV. They make a tool, same thread as the hose, so I thread this in instead of my hose, and now I can hook my water air line to it, and it's going to push air through all the water lines that have water in it. So pretty nifty little tool when you're winterizing your RV. Picked it up 2 years ago. It's coming super useful. So found it on Amazon for a couple of bucks. Just threads right on. There's a little on-off switch so I can hook up my air. Now you got to be careful because, so you want to make sure your output, like my tank will go up to 175. The tank has 175 pounds of pressure built up in it. You can adjust your output on it. Now water lines, you don't want to pressurize a bunch because you could shatter the pipes. Water pressure I think only runs at like 10, 15 pounds of pressure or something like that from the city. So your water lines aren't designed to take a bunch of pressure. So always make sure you turn down like 40, 50 pounds is probably enough to pressurize it, push the water out, but not explode your pipes. So you always want to make sure that you're set up with low pressure coming out of your hose. You don't want to be pushing 150 psi and open this up because you're going to pressurize that system 150 psi and you're going to explode your pipe. So always make sure your pressure is not like super duper high. Close this one. We'll go into the sink in the bathroom. Close that one. I'll open up the tub.
Yep. Okay.
Okay, close that, and then open up the toilet. Just hold the pedal down.
Okay. Okay, I guess.
Alright, so we basically, I was blowing air, she went to each faucet, let it spray, she shut this one off, and then we went to the kitchen faucet, or the sink faucet, in the bathroom. And now that this system's closed, it pushed more air down there and pushed air out and water out of the sink. Then we closed that, did the shower. After the shower, we did the toilet. So you want to like close each system one at a time and keep blowing air and water out so you're getting each section of the system blown out individually. So now we're good there. Now it's time for some antifreeze. Alright, so water shut off. We got our lines blown out. And then next, so what I do is, if you're running a hose and you're hooked up to a fresh water source, the water source is going to have pressure, and you don't run your pump inside your RV, so you just use your water pressure from your water source is what pushes your water through your pipes. When you're using your bladder tanks underneath, which we used to, you have your little pump inside which will pump the water out of your holding tanks. So what I like to do is I pour my antifreeze in my holding tanks, then I go inside and use my pump, and I use the pump to push the holding tank full of antifreeze through my water lines, and then I have nothing but antifreeze in my water lines. So I always make RV grade. There's a couple different kinds, brands, but as long as it's RV antifreeze, you should be good because it'll be not toxic to drink. You don't really drink it, but if some is left over in the lines next year when you blow it out and open up your water, it doesn't make you sick. So just make sure you got the proper RV antifreeze. And we're just pouring this in your holding tanks right now. So some people might be wondering how much antifreeze to use. 2-3 gallons is usually enough to do it. I mean, it obviously depends on how big your system is. But I have 2 gallons today. I'm going to pour a whole gallon in here. Then I'm going to take the other gallon and I'm going to pour some directly down the drains.
The other box.
The other
That's more
box.
than a gallon.
No, it's a gallon in the box.
Oh, is it only a gallon?
Yeah.
Oh.
So these are, oh, I'm sorry.
That's what I thought.
2.5 gallons. So 2.5 gallons. I did, when I was buying the gallon jugs, I did go through quite a bit. And then I found this stuff, which is 2.5 gallon bags in a box. All right, so I've had my drain tanks draining. So I'm gonna close both my valves so that when I go inside and I pour my antifreeze down my drains, it's not just going right out my hose. So these are closed off. I'll drain out my hose last. Let's go. All right.
So we've got 5 gallons with those 2 boxes, huh?
Yep, so we have 2.5 gallons each box. We're gonna pour all 5 in here. And then when I pump it through the lines with the RV pump for the holding tanks, that's gonna pump it through the lines and then out the faucet and then down into the drains. So then you're gonna be knocking 2 birds out with 1 stone, because you'll be getting antifreeze in your water lines and it'll be pumping down in your drains. So let's get all this in here. We got our drains closed, so we're good and ready to pump. As soon as this is empty, we'll go in there and run the pump and get water, and then we'll start seeing pink water come through the lines, and then you know you got it pumped all the way through.
Alright, now that we got that all in, we're going to turn on our pump.
Yep. Oh, cap on. So now our holding tanks have 5 gallons of water in it. Well, 5 gallons of antifreeze in it. And probably a little bit of water. Now before I filled it underneath, I have 2 shut-off valves underneath. One's for your holding tank, so my freshwater tank. So I popped that and drained out all the fresh water first. Make sure there's no standing water in there. Closed it, and then I just poured in all my pink stuff. So now the holding tank should have only pink stuff in it, and let's go run it through the lines. Alright, so water pump. You can hear the pump priming. It's sucking up all that antifreeze. On. Now it's pink. You can smell it. So I got water going through that one. Hot water's not going to work because I closed off the valve there, so the hot water lines aren't open. Sink back here. Antifreeze. Ran through here. Let's see if I can get a little through this. There we go. That is how you run the pink stuff through. So I got pink stuff through sink, kitchen, shower, toilet. I ran the water. Pink stuff was coming out, and then all that water went down into the drain tanks, holding tanks, so those are blocked off, and I have some pink water and fluid in there. So now you've blown out all your air and water. You replaced it with antifreeze so that if there is moisture left in there and it freezes, it's not going to crack your pipes. And now, fingers crossed, we're good for the winter. So for your hot water tank, now that you have everything drained out in the water, I just leave this open. It's separated. That whole big, you know, it's a couple gallon bladder tank in there, so any water in there, if it freezes, it's just going to expand and it'll just come out here. It's not going to like expand and bust your whole tank because it's empty. There's not enough water in there to actually freeze and do any damage. But what does freeze has an escape route through here, so I just leave that open. And then next year, all we'll come in and do is screw this in, and then, well, drain out the pink stuff, run water through it, but then you can screw this in, your hot water tank's ready to go. So I leave that out. We'll button all this up. Okay. Alright. Alright, so that wraps up the hot water heater. We got all our stuff ran through. Now it's just time for cleanup. Now this is how I do things. This is pretty close to like what I was taught, what I looked up online. Different RVs, different systems might have to be a little differently winterized and blown out as far as rain and freeze and your water goes. It might be a little different setup the way you do it. This is how I do it on mine. These steps should work on most RVs. Obviously, you have to know how your system works and kind of where all your drains are and stuff like that. But hopefully that helps you guys if you're looking for some tips on how to do yours. Well.
So guys, that's how you go ahead and do your water lines in your RV.
That's how you winterize them. That's how we winterize them. That should be pretty close to how you do it on most, but
yep.
You might have a little variance. You just need to know a couple basics.
We just figured we'd make a quick little video for everybody in case you wanted to figure out how to do it for yourself.
Yep. You must have an air compressor. That's pretty biggie.
Yeah.
And then RV antifreeze is pretty biggie. And then
yep.
your basic tools will be able to pull your drain anal rod tool out of your, or not tool, but your anal rod is what they call it.
You have to be able to pull your anal rod out.
Yes, you need the proper tools for that.
Anyways.
Yep. Other than that, you know, you should be able to figure it out yourself with a video like this.
Yeah.
A little research, a couple basic tools, and you should be able to get it done yourself.
Yeah. So thanks for watching this one. We're going to end this one right here, and hopefully everybody enjoyed what you watched. If you did, go ahead and hit that subscribe button.
Yep. And then hit that notification bell so that when you get a new video drop, you won't miss it. So
yep.
you can get some tips and tricks on how to do your RV.
Yep. And maybe some fun little stuff in there. You never know what we'll do.
Yep. Yep. You might have learned a few things off the channel.
Yeah, you never know.
I try and show.
Or at least chuckled, maybe.
Yep.
Something. Anyways, hit those comments because I love to hear from you.
Yep. Yep. Let me know what we did wrong.
Yeah.
Let me know if it helped out for you.
Or what we don't do.
Yeah.
That would do. We like to hear about all the stuff we did right.
Yeah. Yeah, if you use this video and it helped you winterize yours, let us know.
Yeah, please. And then don't forget to share.
Yep, sharing is caring, everyone.
Yep. And we hope everybody has a wonderful rest of your day.
Yep.
We'll see y'all on the next one.
Thanks for watching on this one. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.